welcome to a new video. Well, today isn't really a theory video, it's mostly a fun explanation video. A very fun video. Yo, what was that? Who just said that?
We all know him and love him. Freddy Fazbear, the face of this franchise. It's literally called Five Nights at Freddy's. It's like the sticker on my water bottle. And Freddy Fazbear is technically the third rendition of Freddy in the lore. Because first it was Fredbear, who we'll talk about later. Then next was Toy Freddy, who we'll talk about later. Then Freddy Fazbear. He is the one that had a kid stuffed inside him, which is why he moves and, he laughs and all that stuff. And if you look closely at his design, he has a handprint on his head. This is theorized to be either the phone guy or the kid. Honestly, I say either one, but you can argue about that in the comments. Fun fact, actually, Freddy was just a placeholder at first. He was originally supposed to be a beaver. Imagine that. So this is not the same Freddy we just talked about. This is a different one, a backup suit essentially, at least in the lore. And in this picture, it lets us see the suit because it's the game over screen for us, not the phone guy. And as you can see, our eyes are popped out. It talks about that in one of the phone calls in the earlier nights. And basically, he is there to scare us when we get killed and brought to the game over screen. Now, I'm not going to get into too much detail for this guy lore-wise because he's still very complicated and confusing to me at least. I already made a short about him. So basically, he is speculated to be an older Fredbear's Diner suit or maybe a bit earlier than that, but he is definitely an older suit. And he is definitely a scarier character. His jump scare crashes your game in the first one. Crazy, right? Again, we won't talk about too much lore stuff about him because that deserves a video in and of itself. One of my personal favorites. I don't have much to say about him. The toy animatronics are the second version of Freddy Fazbear, as I said, because after the incident at Fredbear's, the Bite of 83, they made a new pizzeria, which is the very one the toys are in. And which is why it's bigger than the FNaF 1 pizzeria in the first game, since FNaF 2 is a prequel. And the toy animatronics, including Freddy, are not possessed. That is something I believe, and you can also fight about that in the comments if you'd like to. But it's because the reason they try and kill you is because their facial recognition system sees you as the purple guy, because he was the one who led the kids into the room. Well, about Toy Freddy, he crashes out easily, I gotta say. Like, if you let him get jump scared in UCN, you're gone. You're done. No more. So, this is not Freddy Fazbear from the first game. You can tell, this Freddy is from one of the restaurants after the Freddys with the toys closed down. This Freddy is, well, withered, for he has a lot of cuts on him. Lots of them. And what I mean by one of the restaurants, because the first game, Freddy Fazbear, is not the only restaurant of that kind. They put out many, as they say, sister locations in there. So, in this death minigame, you can see Afton in the back, which is a big implication that this is the Fredbear's area. Especially since there is only Freddy. And so that means this Freddy is Fredbear, or a performer, since in that time they used multiple spring lock suits. But that's something I wanted to touch on with this little Atari guy. Now, this Atari Freddy, which is also Death Minigame Freddy, this is Freddy from FNaF 1. Everyone knows this minigame, because there's even a song about it. Afton takes apart the robots for his experiments, and his remnant. Scary, huh? This Freddy is just really an Easter egg, nothing more. He's cool, though probably gonna draw him soon. I don't know. So fun fact, the phantoms are the reasons why we know Michael burnt down the pizzerias, because they have burn marks. So about Phantom Freddy, he is Withered Freddy, his design, and he has burn marks on him, which again is why we found out. But that's really it, and his jump scare doesn't actually kill you, it just scares the living daylight out of you. And he's kind of annoying sometimes. But that's really it. So, Nightmare Freddy, he's not real. He's the result of Faz gas. Feel free to use that still, or Scott. And that's why poor little small Michael is seeing them. They are actually just moving blank shells with rollers. Same with all the Nightmare animatronics. So Nightmare Freddy isn't real. Basically everything I just said for Nightmare Freddy goes the same for this guy. The only thing, this guy is worse for Michael, because it's the animatronic that caused, or at least took a part into causing, his brother's death. It's traumatizing for him, especially since Fredbear has teeth in his stomach. He's also one of the scariest. Basically, Nightmare Fredbear but scarier, and inverted in color, as in the top hat and bow are yellow and the rest of him is black. Probably the scariest of all the nightmares, but you can see he's kind of transparent. I think maybe what we see inside him could be what the actual animatronic shells look like without Faz gas. But that's just my theory and from what I see. These little goblins are basically mini Nightmare Freddys. Everything I said about the Nightmares Freddy goes for all the nightmares. None of them are real. But these things can be kinda scary. So lore-wise, I'm not going to talk too much about him because I don't think he really has any impact on the lore. But again, I'm still trying to figure out what sister location is and, all that other stuff. So give me some slack. But Funtime Freddy is definitely a scary bear. And he was supposed to be German at first, actually. Early FNaF was definitely weird. He's definitely one of the more scarier sounding characters as well. That voice traumatized me. But that's kind of all I can say. Also, he has a really cool VA. Basically just Funtime Freddy, but with no shell and no bonbon. It's FNaF World Freddy. What else do you expect me to say? So with this guy, really no lore implications, I don't think. He just begs you for coins and then kills you if you don't give them to him.
Please deposit 5 coins.
Oh no. Molten Freddy is basically the robot noodles Michael throws up. He's all the Funtimes together. As you can see, he has some of the Funtime Freddy faceplates. Don't know how he got those. He's scary, man. He's also one of my favorite animatronics. He also has a really cool VA. So in the lore of the games, he is a knockoff of Fredbear, trying to replicate the fame Fredbear got. They try to get a taste of what the Fazbear company is getting. Because if your restaurant's popular, expect people to try and replicate that. So that's what he is, a very clear knockoff of Fredbear. He's a goat, that's all I have to say. I have a hat of him. So Lefty was built to capture the puppet. Henry built it to capture Charlie so he could let his plan work in FNaF 6, burning them all. That's all Lefty was built for, but as we know, Lefty burns with the puppet in the fire. So, Lonely Freddy was in the books. He is designed for kids who are lonely, but in the book, he uses his powers to switch bodies with the main character. Very sad. And what sucks is that the main character was kind of a brat to his sister, but when he finally realizes how much of a mean guy he was to his sister, he gets body swapped, and he has to watch his sister be friends with a fake version of him. How sad. But Lonely Freddy as a whole is just a tinier version of Freddy with a very different design. I do really like this character though, one of my favorite stories. This one is also from the books. This one I don't personally know too much about, but he is a very nightmarish looking Freddy, and I think he is real, I don't know. At least in the book canon. And he comes up from the grave at night and he looks very disgusting. Kind of looks like Toxic Springtrap. This Freddy is a DLC variant of Freddy from the Help Wanted Halloween DLC. Not much to say about him. He's basically just Freddy if he was Frankenstein's monster, and he's huge. We all know Fredbear. He was the original Freddy, the one who caused David's death, the one who started it all. Henry's creation and the face of the franchise at the time, the animatronic that would torture Michael in his sleep. Going from the oldest Freddy to the newest in the timeline. Glamrock Freddy, one of my personal favorites as well. He is the one animatronic to not get hacked by the virus and security breach. He was the one who helped Gregory throughout the whole game, the only friend to him. He was speculated to have the soul of Michael. I still don't know if that's confirmed or not, but Glamrock Freddy is the Freddy of this pizzeria and the only one to not get hacked, as I said, because he was shut down because of something he saw while he was performing. This one is from Security Breach. He is basically a big version of Molten Freddy, but he isn't Molten Freddy. This is, well, Shattered Glamrock Freddy. He is from Ruin. Actually, this Freddy is a prototype, not the actual Glamrock Freddy. I do like his design, though. It reminds me of the Nightmares with their teeth stomachs. So what I mean by digital Helpy, this Helpy is the one from Ruin. I don't remember his exact name, but he is basically the digital version of Helpy from Ruin. He helps capture the Mexies and keeps it safe. Movie Freddy is the movie version of Freddy. Not much to say, but I had to put him in there. He was built by the Jim Henson Creature Shop company. Freddy Fazbear, not the official name, is the torture chair in the FNaF movie. Mike is trapped in this chair for a bit. So is the first security guard, but the security guard dies in it. This is a very cool chair. I'd love to sit in it. This one is the bully with the Freddy mask on. I wonder what he was thinking when David got bit. He did help Michael with the prank after all. Alright, that was a lot, but I did it. If you made it to the end of the video, please leave a comment with 11 years of Freddy. Speaking of that, happy 11 years to Freddy Fazbear. That's crazy to me, man. I remember when FNaF AR came out. That was pretty long ago. But time flies, and Freddy will be a teenager in 2 years. That'll be something. This video definitely took a bit, but it was a fun video to make, and I think it turned out great. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you like this, consider subscribing. You can always change your mind later, and you won't miss any new FNaF videos I post. So yeah, hope you had fun, hope you liked it, and I'll catch you guys later.